I'm trying to say something, but man, this is. Hey, let's one thing at a time, one thing at a time. You doing a LaRonda on me now. She called this a long time ago. How y'all doing?
It was a hot day.
It was.
But we got our candidate.
So, you know, a funny thing happened as I was running this race, like so many other campaigns, making my case, making my arguments, fighting back the attack ads. And let me tell y'all, negative stuff on social media, it does not faze me. It doesn't bother me. Let me tell y'all something. I grew up the youngest of 4 boys. So there is nothing that you can say on social media that I haven't already heard. So my brother Vince is here. He's the oldest. And so, I mean, you talk about being called everything but a child of God. And then my friends, Ken, Clay, Floyd, like I'm used to getting talked about on a regular. That's what we do. And I actually happen to believe, though, that, you know, running a positive message is the right thing to do. I believe that words matter. Yes, they do. And for those who know me, running a campaign on the issues is what I do. It's what we do. But this race got nasty. And so, and I'll be honest, I was still good, but there were a couple times that, you know, it started getting to me a little bit. Hold up. That receipts commercial, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to prosecute this dude with something, because that was pretty good. I gotta give it to him. But, and so I, you know, in your mind, you can't help the thoughts that come in your mind. So you start thinking about, man, maybe I should respond negatively. And hold on, I'm telling a story. Let me get there. But, you know, And so, yeah, the thoughts came to mind. And, you know, I talked to people and, you know, people like Jordan and LaRonda and others talked me down off the ledge a little bit. But, you know, the last few weeks, something strange started happening. And initially, I didn't pay attention to it very much. When a few kids start recognizing me and stuff like that. And then we were coming out of the Galleria, because we had lunch at Cheesecake Factory. And this little girl, who couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old, a little bitty girl, she saw me and her jaw just dropped. Wow. And I'm telling y'all, that hit me differently. Like, it made me realize that this isn't just about campaigning and adults talking and negative messaging, but our kids are watching. Yes, they are. Yes. And what we say matters. Yes. What we post on Twitter and on Facebook, our kids are watching. So if we truly care about paving a way and preparing our next generation, we have to start paying attention to the political discourse. We have to start paying attention to what we say, and not only what we say, but how we say it. And so I can tell you that moment, and I said it to folks on my staff, that moment, I was so happy that not one word out of my mouth was negative, defaming in any way, not one single word out of my mouth. I am absolutely honored and humbled to be the Democratic nominee for Congress in this district. Okay, I gotta say that one more time because it's still. I am absolutely honored and humbled to be the Democratic nominee for Congress for this first district, for you. I want to thank my teams. Notice I said teams. On the campaign side, led by Jordan, our campaign manager, Jordan. Listen, I believe in leading from the front and setting the example for the work ethic. I don't want anybody that's working with me to think that they're outworking me, because you're not going to do that. But there were times when she was competing with me. Our deputy campaign manager, LaRonda Wilson. So this is special to me because the very first time that I was thinking about running, I think I was sitting in your car. And when you having those thoughts and you're not sure, and then you got somebody like, you should do it. It was that. I see Miss Paula, this woman wrote over 30,000 postcards. Anyway, I'm getting off hand. So Roy and Anjan, Laura, Eddie, and everyone on that campaign side, volunteer staff, but also, I'm not here if it's not for an amazing group of men and women at the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. You know, for me, the day that I got into office, for me, I never wanted to come back to you all and not be able to tell you what we've done. Too often, we hear politicians give you promises and tell you about things that they're going to do. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. When we said that we were going to expand diversion programs for people struggling with mental health, substance abuse, there are people in this room that know that we did that. When we said that we were going to create a conviction incident review unit to look at credible allegations of wrongful conviction. There's a man who was wrongfully convicted 20 years ago who is free today as a result of that work. I want to thank Sam. I don't know if he's here, but he, from the very beginning, Sam Alton and Chief Tim Swope. Tamiko Martinez and Taylor. Can I tell the story?
Tell a story.
You know which one I'm talking about. About the.
Tell a story.
Okay. So, I'm not going to say any names, but she happens to be a family member of one of the people in this race. And so when I announced that I was running, I sat down with her and I told her, like, look, I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable place. If you need to be assigned just inside the office, that is perfectly fine. And I would respect it, and I would still love you. And she said, no, we doing this. I want to thank our labor friends. Where you at? Where y'all at, labor? Where y'all at? I want to thank our faith leaders. Let me tell y'all something. When we talk about working together and bringing people together, that's not just lip service. One of my first endorsements was the Ecumenical Leadership Council, which is an organization, a statewide organization of predominantly African-American churches. And they supported me. I've worked with them for years. And what is unprecedented, over 36 rabbis in this region endorsed our campaign. I want to thank the elected officials in the city and the county. Even the ones who didn't support me, I intend to earn your support because we're going to work together for this region. I got to thank my family. My mother is here. Where you at, Mama? My brother, Vince, I already mentioned, and several other family folks, Rashawn. My uncles, Savoy, and just so many folks. I'll start naming people. But then also, I want to thank all of the voters in St. Louis City and St. Louis County who wanted change. This district is ready for better and more accountable representation in Washington, D.C. Progressives should actually make progress. And that's what I've done my entire career. We have big challenges that we need to address. We need to ensure that a woman has a right to choose. We need to, the number one killer of young black boys in this district is gun violence. We're going to continue working with Moms Demand Action for common sense gun safety laws. We have an unhoused population that we need to address and make certain that their needs are attended to and that the support that they need is we're doing those things. We need to lower costs for prescriptions for our seniors, but for all of our folks, to make certain that everyone has access to quality and affordable health care. And we also have to make certain that we recognize that the world is a dangerous place. And our national security interests are something that we have to take seriously. That's true. Our words also matter with respect to the world stage. We recognize we don't want to see one innocent person harmed anywhere in the world. But we are going to stand with our fellow democracies around the world. And the promise that I make to you is I'm going to do everything in my power to be a part of the coalition to bring a lasting peace to so many folks that are struggling right now. So in Congress, I will never forget why I was elected in the first place. That's to deliver results for you. And we're going to pave the way for the next generation. We're going to pay attention to our words. We're going to watch the way we navigate on all types of media, social media and otherwise, because it's so important that we talk to one another, that we see each other, that we recognize that these issues they're not the hardest things in the world, but we got to listen to one another. I was on a poll, and this woman came up to me yelling at me, and I just said, hey, can we just talk? Right. And this particular woman, unlike some others, she said, you know what, yeah, we can. And we just sat there and had a conversation. It was still hot, but we sat there and had a conversation. And the voting was done, so I don't know if I won or voted or not. It doesn't matter at this point. I think we did pretty good. But the fact that we could sit there and have a conversation like two adults who care about this region, who care about this country, lets me know that there's hope for us. And so, here we are, y'all. Here we are. So, from the top of my soul to the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I will say this, y'all. We still have an election to win on November 5th, which happens to be my birthday, you know, right? So, we still got a little work to do. So we're going to get out there and we're going to do it. All right. We are not answering questions. But I'll be around. But seriously, y'all, I can't tell you how much I appreciate. I'm looking around this room, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all. This was a tough race. And as I've said before, anyone that I ran against, they may be an opponent, but they are not an enemy.
That's right.
And I extend my hand to everyone in this race, everyone who agreed or disagreed with me, because at the end of the day, we need to move this region forward, and we're going to do it together, y'all. Thank you. Thank you.